What's up? Let's talk about a couple things today. First of all, one Michelle Bachmann, a Republican representative of Minnesota, says, and I quote, "What we have to do today is make a covenant to slit our wrists, be blood brothers on this thing. This will not pass. We will do whatever it takes to make sure this doesn't pass." And this is, of course, on healthcare reform. Now, I don't even care that this has anything to do with healthcare reform. And this amount of venom about something like healthcare reform is astounding to me, but that's not really the point. And it's not the point that she's a Republican either. It's just the point that she's out of her mind. She's batshit crazy. I mean, I'm sure she doesn't actually literally mean that we should slit our wrists and become blood brothers on this thing. It's a terrible figure of speech she's trying to use. But anyone who would say that publicly, a representative who would say that shit, is batshit crazy. Shame on you, Minnesota. What the fuck is wrong with you? If you elect someone that stupid, I don't think you should be allowed to vote anymore. I mean, of course, I think you should be allowed to vote, but I wish that, you know what I'm fucking saying. Just like anybody who voted for Sarah Palin as governor of Alaska. Though, then again, what the fuck were your choices? This bitch is crazy. She needs to shut her fucking mouth. For her own good, she needs to shut her mouth. I don't see how she could possibly continue in politics if she says shit like this. I mean, even if you live in the ass end of Alabama or Arkansas, or Kentucky, you still won't really be able to get away with this kind of shit. Or at least not nowadays with everyone, the instant communication where everyone knows. So, Michelle, baby, alright? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Stop talking. Stop doing it. If you want to continue to have a job, seriously, for your own good, stop fucking doing it. But personally, I would prefer if you killed yourself. Because anyone who is that fucking stupid to say some shit like this, when you know everyone's going to hear you, you know people are going to fucking hear you. Alright? She said this in a speech. This wasn't like a candid remark. This wasn't just some shit that she said offhandedly, or like she was talking to an aide and like a reporter caught the shit. It was at a speech, okay? At a Denver, Colorado fundraiser. This was on Monday. She said this in a speech. Did no one check her speech first? Stop people from saying this. I mean, you have Sarah Palin with, her shit is just stupid. The fact that it's not possible that the speeches she reads have been cleared by somebody or edited in any way. I'm confident that no one's looking at that. If anyone is looking at her speeches, they need to be shot. But this bitch, do you not have aides that look over your speeches? Did somebody write this for you? If they did, why the fuck would you let that come out of your mouth? Holy shit. That's fucking crazy. Sounds like a paganist ritual to me. I mean, holy hell. Stop. Stop doing it. On a similar note of stupid and or crazy people, after watching Judge Judy for the last several days, I have decided to... By the way, I love Judge Judy. It's good shit. Fucking awesome. She's not really technically a judge. She's like I think her role is some sort of mediator or something. The people sign a contract to abide by her ruling before they go on the show. But she's a great bullshit detector. But the point is that listening to these people speak, I've decided to set several rules down. And these are hardcore rules, but they're necessary. Rule number 1. Anyone who says y'all, as in y'all going to the lynching, y'all going to the cross burning, y'all going to vote for Sarah Palin. Notice I dropped the G on the going. something needs to be done about this. And what I'm suggesting is that anyone who says y'all more than twice a day for at least 2 consecutive days shall be taken and shot publicly in front of their families, and especially their children. If they have any, the younger the better. You should be shot in the head with a 9mm pistol, classic execution style. The second thing will be anyone over the age of 10 who says daddy, all right, more than twice a day for at least 2 consecutive days will be shot publicly in front of their families. All right? Anyone who says we done gone, we done went, we done did, any form of that word, the improper use of the word done, who says this more than twice a day, to at least 2 times a day, for at least 2 consecutive days, shall be shot publicly in front of their family. Anyone who says we was going, more than twice a day for at least 2 consecutive days, shall be shot. Anyone who drops at least 10 G's, like going becomes going, at least 10 G's a day for at least 2 consecutive days shall be shot publicly. And I know there are other violations of the English language that run along these lines, but I think that if we focus on these, on the y'all, we done, daddy, we was, and dropping of the G's, we can solve a lot of the problems that some of our less intellectually inclined citizens seem to have with their language. Now, I'm not completely unfair. I'm going to allow a year buffer for you to prepare. I'm going to give you a whole year for you to work this out of your language. I'm not unreasonable. You might need some time. This is hardwired in a lot of people's heads, and they're very simple creatures. So, we're going to be giving you some time. I said given. See? I need a little time sometimes. Giving you some time, okay, to work this out. After the year is over, the rules apply, okay? There shall be no appeals. There shall be no judge. If you violate any of these rules, men in black suits will come to your home and remove you and your family to the public execution site. These executions shall be, you'll be able to view them on public access television. And I think this is really the best answer for this problem, which is one that has tormented me for a very long time. Because I've noticed that it's not really the southern accent that pisses me off as much. Because if you're a high-class southerner, it's almost an oxymoron, your accent's not too bad, but words like y'all and saying daddy, stop it. Stop doing it. I hate you. I want you to die. So that's why I've instituted these rules. Obviously, they aren't official until, we get Congress's approval and all that shit. But, these are my suggestions, okay? These are the things I think need to be done, all right, just to handle this situation. And I've already talked for a while now, so I might as well add one more thing. I was having a discussion about smoking, cigarette smoking. And I just want to make my position perfectly clear, because I continually am asked questions about smoking. First of all, don't start smoking. That's easy enough. Second of all, as far as secondhand as far as secondhand smoke goes, unless you have a pre-existing condition, I don't want to hear you bitching, okay? Because it's not going to hurt you. Fuck off and die. I actually heard this individual say to me, secondhand smoke is worse for me because when you smoke it, it's filtered. Now think about that statement. Think about that statement. Don't think about it too hard. You might fucking die. But think about it a little bit and get back to me when you realize how fucking stupid that is. Went on to discuss smoking in establishments such as restaurants and bars. Now, first of all, if you own a bar or a restaurant and you don't want to have smoking, I'm 100% for that. That's your deal. I'll go find some place that has smoking. But if you own a restaurant and a bar and you want to have smoking, you should be able to have smoking. If you don't want to go to a smoking establishment, don't goddamn go there. There's not, if you have children, there's not smoking at McDonald's or Chuck E. Cheese or any of these places for a reason, because children go there. This individual asked me, if somebody brought in a 3-year-old sitting at the table next to you, would you light up a cigarette or would you ask his parents? No, I'd light up a cigarette. Well, that's not classy. Well, it's not fucking classy to bring your kid into a restaurant, first of all, because small children, especially a 3-year-old, do not belong in a goddamn restaurant or in public at all unless they're brought to a child-oriented establishment, all right? Anything that occurs when you bring your 3-year-old toddler out into the world is your fucking responsibility, not mine. It's not like I've walked into Chuck E. Cheese and start lighting up a pack of cigarettes and handing the kids fucking packs of Marlboro Reds. That's not what's going on. But if you go into a restaurant that you know goddamn well has smoking, and you've brought your 3-year-old, you've stated to the world that you are okay with people smoking near your child, because guess what? Lights on, folks. Your children are not the center of the fucking universe. If you don't want your child exposed to that shit, either go to a child-oriented establishment or a non-smoking establishment, or better yet, don't bring your fucking child anywhere at all. Because what would happen if that kid was crying? You know what happens when you tell... Have you ever actually even politely tried to, ask parents to keep their kid, to shut their fucking kid up before you stab it in the eye with your fork? Even if you are as polite as fucking possible, they flip out on you, or they just don't do anything. Because usually they don't give a fuck, because they've toned it out. Well, fuck you and fuck your children. No, I'm not going to ask you if it's okay for me to light up a fucking cigarette in a smoking establishment. Fuck off. Don't bring your child to bars at all. There's no child has any business being in a bar. A child may be able to I may be able to accept a child being in a restaurant, but if you don't want your child in a smoking restaurant, don't fucking bring them there. It's not my job. If I hear anyone complaining about, well, it's my air too, I'm gonna start stabbing people in the throat. I fucking hate that argument. Then go away. Go away. I've actually had people say this shit to me in my own home. Die. Fucking die. Do you eat out of Teflon pans? Do you know how dangerous it is to overheat a Teflon pan? The shit will literally kill birds. It will kill birds. Just like the kind of birds that they used to have in mines to tell them whether there was gases building up in there, the birds would die. If you overheat a Teflon pan, the motherfucker will kill a bird. So if you eat out of Teflon pans or go outside, I really don't want to hear you complaining about your air. Do you drive a car? Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay? Fuck you. I don't want to hear any more of that shit. I'm fucking tired of that shit. And I hate this child argument being brought up because I don't have any responsibility at all for your children. The only responsibility I have for your children is to avoid running them over, not because I give a shit, just because I don't want to go to prison, and to avoid stabbing them to death when they piss me off when I'm out doing whatever the fuck I need to be doing. That's my only responsibility. Other than that, it's your fucking job. I don't give a shit about your children. Nobody gives a fuck about your children. You love them because they're your children. That's great. But I don't give a fuck about your children. I fucking hate children. If I had my own children, I might feel differently about my children. Now, I may be a little extra irritated because all of a sudden there's like at least 20 kids, it seems, living on my block. And I live on a fucking cul-de-sac. There's less than 20 houses here. And it used to be all old people, okay? All old people in these houses, but they've all died almost. So now there's all these families with kids, and they're fucking everywhere. They're everywhere. They're walking all up and down the street. They'll stand in front of my house and shit, making my dog bark. He won't stop barking until they fucking go away. Go away, play in your own goddamn yard. I can't fucking tell if someone's having intestines ripped out of their fucking stomach or if they're just playing, because I swear kids scream like they're being murdered, alright? And the motherfuckers down the street from me bought a fucking pool, and all the kids from the neighborhood come over to play in the pool. What happens when you take, 15 kids that are under the age of 10 and put them in a pool? What are they going to do? They're going to scream at the top of their fucking lungs, and I want them to die. I want them to die, die, die. Die. Stop it. Stop living. Stop screaming. Just die. Driving little fucking gas-powered motorcycles. Little tiny gas-powered motorcycles, I swear to you. 4-year-olds. These fucking things go almost 30 miles an hour. Up and down the street, man. Up and down the fucking street. What the fuck is wrong with you? Stop that. I swear, if one of these little fuckers touches any of my cars, I'm a flip out. Going to flip out. I hate that shit, just like I hate my fucking neighbor letting his stupid ass dog wander around. If that fucking dog comes anywhere near my dog one more time, I'm gonna fucking shoot it. I've had a stressful week, so you're gonna have to forgive me. So that was my long rambling rant on several things. Alright. So I'll fucking speak to you folks later.